Welcome to Swanwick, to Yachting Monthly's test of the Bavaria 33 cruiser. So starting up at the bow, as ever you can see a single bow roller to starboard of the forestay. The chain runs into here, there's plenty of room for the chain, and somebody could put a windlass there, but you wouldn't be able to fit your CQR or your Delta in that space, I don't think, so it would have to stay on the bow roller. Up forward, there's no provision that I can see for a genic attack, although you could put one through the bow roller, although what do you do with your anchor, which won't go in the anchor locker? Anyway, one for later. There are pads here for a prodder, so if you wanted to fit one of those, then that would be fine, and that would go to port of the forestay, but it's going to be an optional extra. So a nice sturdy set of cleats there, and the fairleads fall, aluminium fairleads, so you're not going to chafe anything. It works. There's 3 sets of them, midships and aft as well. This concerns me a bit. You know, if I was wandering around on deck, that's the sort of place I might want a bit of non-slip, and there's none there. There is the tow rail, but I might like some up to the edge of the deck. We've got these jib tracks on the coach roof here. I'm not sure they'll be long enough. You know, when that jib's partly furled, I think you'd probably want a car up here, maybe, but that's what it is. You know, most furled jibs aren't trimmed tremendously well. Got the lines here, not ducted aft, just, you know, on the coach roof there. They're fitting a second halyard winch and some clutches on the other side, so that you can have the Genoa halyard and the second reef, I think, going down that side. So it won't all be on this side here. The furling line, you can see, runs under these stanchion bases. It's got these nice little fittings here, so that you don't need pulleys or anything. There may be a little more friction involved, but I just thought it was a very tidy solution. And then, of course, you've got your handrails here, leading back to the spray hood from the shrouds. So wandering along with the handrails, dive to there, that's all nicely worked out. I like these. You've got these really big, you know, if you've got heavy bags and stuff, it'd be nice to have a bigger space to get them on board, and this has it. So into the cockpit, huge locker here. This is the main deck stowage, it's a vast space. So you've got your boarding ladder there, there's emergency tiller down there, fire extinguisher, huge locker, and then below that you've got the engine battery, and there's some more stowage below the sole of this locker. Rubber sealed as well. So we've got the main sheet light on 32, which this boat replaces. Main sheet's on a horse, built into this table here, which is great for bracing, really good. Obviously good for dining from as well, and you've got some stowage in there. They've made the binnacle smaller, so that it's much easier to walk through there, which is, you know, a perennial problem with single-wheeled boats. A nice adjustable backstay here, tweakable from the helm. You can't quite lean outboards and steer, but you can lean against the backstay, or you can lean back here, or, you know, if you want your comfy brace, you can steer from there. All very good. We've got the shore power here, single gas locker in there, and this, again, it's such a great idea. Works so well at anchor. The bathing platform. So this is something a little bit different here. We've got these saloon doors instead of the usual washboards. It's a nice solution, and it kind of, you know, it looks more like home, but my one issue, you know, if it was raining from this direction, then you can't put it in half a washboard. It doesn't, you know, kind of cuts the other way. And of course you don't get as much privacy as you would with washboard. So lovely idea, but I'm not entirely sure they work. Good grab rails up here, likewise coming down here, and these lovely steps, lipped and gripped, into the galley, which has got pretty good headroom. I'm 6 foot, so I suppose that's 6'2", 6'3". Ventilation is only that one. There is another one going in here, which gives more ventilation in the galley, but you still can't use it at sea, so you're kind of relying on whatever you can get through the companionway with the spray hood up. So there's one big sink. There's a cool box there, which is has no drain and kind of needs one, I think. It's not huge either, but you can at least get to the bottom of it without falling in. Stowage is not huge. Obviously you've got a bit more there, but the bin takes up most of the understuff, and this tends to be a space for sort of cleaners and jerry cloths and all that sort of thing. There's some more stowage down there, but again we are kind of, you know, there's not masses of it by any means. There's plenty elsewhere, there's plenty in the saloon, but yeah, galley a bit short, I think. So here's the aft cabin. For a 33 footer, I think you'd have to admit this is pretty spacious. So we've got 6'3" headroom, opening hatches here and here, and a hull port, and the choice of this kind of moulded head lining, the white hull cladding, and this cream coloured upholstery really helps to bounce the light around, and it feels quite a bright space. Got one main cabin light here, and a single reading light there. I'd probably like another one over there somewhere. Stowage, got a hanging and shelved locker there. There's some under here. There's more under the outer berth. Under the end of the berth you've got the fuel tank, you've got the calorifier, and you've got the exhaust muffler. You've got the fuel shut-off here and the engine battery breaker there. Excellent engine access here. And it's a huge cabin. The berth is 6'10" by 5'9". It's a massive space for a 33 footer. It's a great cabin. So moving into the heads, again for a 33 footer, it's a great size. I've got tons of headroom here. Got an opening hatch here, it's a good ventilation. I'd quite like one above into the space under the spray hood, that would be nice, so kind of all-weather ventilation. Two lights here, holding tanks in there, some stowage in there, a little bit more. Obviously you'd probably keep your cleaners and so on under the sink, and it needs a shelf really, it's mostly Seacocks. Nice sink there with a mixer tap, and a great shower here, separate shower, so you kind of sit down, and there's also a hook up there, so you can actually stand and shower without having to hold the shower head. And, glory of glories, a wet locker, an actual fitted wet locker, so you just come down in your wet oilies, hang it up here, get yourself dry, go into the boat. Very clever. One. So, chart table, what's to say? Not much really. It's kind of small, it's kind of aft facing, you kind of get the feeling they'd rather it wasn't here. Some stowage below there, a little spring strap. Got your switches outboard. There's a little locker there, but you know, what you're supposed to do with your almanac, all that sort of thing, I don't know. Domestic battery switch there, some light switches here. That's the chart table. So I like these handrails. I think they've done well here. So you know, you come down here, you've got these ones, you've got those ones. But then what? There's none up here, there's none on the deck head, there's none below the window, so it needs something here to help me get to the next grab place, which is there, the compression post. So I'd like one there. I'd probably fit one myself if they wouldn't. So under the table here, it's a fixed table, 2 leaves, so you can dine, I guess 5 there, 6. Very nice space here for cutlery, since there's so little in the galley. Another one there. This is quite nice as well. We're here. There's can inspect your keel bolts and also your bilge pump. Quite nice to have that simple access, good for maintenance. So anyway, what the galley lacked in storage, the saloon has an abundance, not just in these lockers outboard, but behind. Oh, that's a charger. And below, this is all stowage, all around here. So absolutely no shortage of stowage. Oh, this is quite nice as well. So if you have a hot pan from the galley, just pop it down on this trivet and serve from there. Could maybe use a fiddle. That's about all. There's the saloon. So here's the fore cabin, which I think Unusually for these days, I'd probably have as the second cabin, the guest cabin. Just a bit more confined. You've got headroom under the hatch, but not much more than that. So, shelf locker there, hanging locker here, some shelving on top and outside. And there's more storage under here. So you've got this kind of two-part cushion there which folds here. So you can just lift that, and you've got the kind of car bonnet thing going on there, support to hold that up. So the storage under there, storage under there. You see these quite neat little plywood things. They kind of slot into place, so it kind of holds and doesn't rattle. So yeah, stowage here, stowage here, stowage there. There's more under there and transducer access below this bottom that lifts out. All very clever. So the Bavaria 33 Cruiser, this was taken, it's the same hull as the 32, it's still the same Bruce Farr hull as they had on the 32, but they've redone the deck because there was a lot of criticism of the kind of brutalist appearance to the coach roof. It made it a lot softer. I think Bavaria's own design team was involved in that. You've got these big windows here which let in a lot of light. You've got the opening hatch there, the delayed hatch there, so it ventilates well, there's lots of light. It's an improvement, it's a definite improvement. She looks better and sails as well as she ever did. In 10 knots of true wind from the northeast, we were going upwind in sort of 13 to 15 average wind speeds at about 30 to 35, more like 35 degrees to the apparent wind, and we were making 5.8 to 6.4 knots. Coming down onto a fetch with 11 to 13 knots of apparent wind at 60 degrees to that apparent wind, 5.7 to 6.5. So she sails very sweetly, cracks on, feels great at the wheel. It's like a dinghy almost. Down at a beam reach, 10 to 11 knots, we were getting 5.7 to 6.2 knots, which again felt great. It was just tracking very sweetly. And on a broad reach in 7 to 8 knots of apparent wind, 4.2 to 4.5. So who would buy a boat like this? I think, well, she's less than 90,000 for a start. She's 89,000 and change. So she's an awful lot of boat for the money. It's a 33-foot boat that you've got headroom in pretty much every cabin for less than £90,000. So I imagine someone getting into cruising, someone with a family perhaps who's got a smaller cruiser and wants something that they can just have a bit more space to relax in. It's very well appointed, it's very comfortable, sails beautifully, it's excellent value. I'd have a closer look on yachtingmonthly.com and then go for a test sail.